Hey, fellow white guys.
Oh my God!
It's about to be a new year.
And there's a few things we think you could do a little bit better in 2017.
Do you ever wonder, well, I do, you ever wonder what I guess the classical social justice people who fought for social justice would think if they could see into the future and see that it's part of social justice activism is to talk to white people about what they should do to make everyone else's lives a little bit better. You know, people like William Lloyd Garrison, William Wilberforce, Martin Luther King Jr., you know, those guys, the guys who fought for social justice and who also, you know, I mean, William Wilberforce was, he ended the slave trade in Britain. That was no small feat by any stretch of the imagination. Oh, and by the way, he did it without a civil war. Let's not forget that. And did it, you know what, at least 200 years before America did. So, I mean, I'm just saying. But anywho, you ever wonder what they think about that? If they could see into the future. Yeah, I'm no expert, but I would imagine they're rolling in their graves.
First off, try to recognize that America was never great for anyone who wasn't a white guy.
Ever? Like, not even today? Yeah, it's up for debate. Sorry. Nobody is denying the fact that slavery happened. And nobody is denying the fact that Japanese internment camps were a thing. The problem that most people tend to have is that those things aren't happening anymore. It doesn't mean that everything's all sunshine and lollipops and that everything's completely perfect and that racism doesn't exist. But this whole claim of systemic, institutionalized racism is really, not only is it relatively hard to prove, it also, by its very nature, is relatively hard to disprove. You've created this unfalsifiable claim. And frankly, the burden of proof is on you, not on me. I mean, I say, there's no racism. I don't see any racism. I look around, I don't see systems or institutions oppressing you, or really any institutions with power. I mean, you could be like, oh, the KKK, the alt-right. Yeah, a fringe group of society. I mean, come on. You're making a mountain out of a molehill. But as far as institutionalized, I mean, yeah, no. Again, like I said, nobody is denying that our past is sordid. Nobody's saying that. We're just denying the fact that things aren't better than they ever have been, and better than they are pretty much around the world. I mean, can you point out a country that is more equal and free than America? That has more opportunity, more wealth, more... I mean, I'm not saying we're perfect. But again, the whole Make America Great Again is, I mean, an empty slogan. Like basically all political slogans are relatively empty, and when you break them down, you find out that there's not really much substance to them. They're just filler, kind of like a piece of candy or, you know, a donut. But Make America Great Again, we're not saying that, hey, we want to bring slavery back. Man, wasn't America great when we had slaves? No. There are some people who are going to say that, and those people are racist pieces of trash. Let's bring back slavery. Yeah, let's not. Let's treat everybody with dignity and respect. You're retarded. It's such a non-point. It's a non-issue.
Can we all just agree that Black Lives Matter isn't the opposite of All Lives Matter? Black lives just matter. There's no need to overcomplicate it.
Here's the thing that concerns me, is that the movement for Black Lives Matter has turned into Black Lives Matter more. And actually there have been several instances in where, it's just this issue. I mean, I can't even believe we're still talking about Black Lives Matter. I thought this issue, these things never die. I'll put a link in the description to a video about Black Lives Matter. One of them is relatively incendiary, the other one maybe not so much, so I'll put two videos in there that hopefully should put this issue to rest for most individuals.
Also, Blue Lives Matter isn't a thing.
Hashtag triggered. Blue Lives Matter isn't a thing. What? It kind of is. We're saying that in your pursuit of, you started Black Lives Matter because you believe that black people are being ignored, that black lives are being ignored, black people are being killed, and nobody really cares. So you start this movement and say, hey, Black Lives Matter. We're going to raise awareness for the issue that black people are being killed. And the Blue Lives Matter, for the most part, again, there's going to be bigots and racists, but for the most part, the Blue Lives Matter movement is saying, yeah, but while you're on your little journey into Black Lives Matter, don't step on the police departments. Don't step on the cops. The good cops, right? I mean, we can... I'm not very comfortable, and I don't like the fact that a lot of libertarians are just so anti-cop that they seem to even take pleasure in watching cops get hurt. That just doesn't seem very libertarian. It just doesn't. I always thought that libertarianism was about, the non-aggression principle, and part of accepting the non-aggression principle is sort of the presumption that you don't want to see aggression taking place. So it's like, oh, I haven't violated the NAP, but I'm going to take pleasure in this video where people did. It's like, it just doesn't seem very consistent. And it's like Black Lives Matter, you actually have videos of large groups of Black Lives Matter protesters, right? What's the one? Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon, right? Calling cops pigs and bullcrap like that. And then you got that large group, what do we want? Dead cops. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Dead cops. When do we want it? Now. That's the kind of rhetoric and kind of stuff that's been going on in large groups. It's not like it's some fringe minority, 20 people on Twitter going, yeah, kill all cops. A lot of people saying cops deserve to be dead, shoot the pigs on sight, bullcrap like that inspired the hashtag Blue Lives Matter, saying, hey, I think it's great. Fine, do your thing, but don't trample on cops to make your message more effective. Don't stand on the bodies of dead cops. Don't forget about the cops that risk their lives every day trying to make the communities a little bit better. Hashtag bad cops, though. Yeah, no, duh. I'm not autistic or anything.
Cops weren't born with blue skin, right? Yeah, they weren't born blue.
It's probably one of the stupidest things in this entire video. What's the point? There's no point. There's literally no point to that statement. Cops don't have blue skin. Haha, I owned you. What? Did you come up with that and you feel so smart? You feel so intelligent? That is probably one of the dumbest things I've ever heard come out of a human being's mouth. That's not a point. That's not an argument. That makes absolutely no sense. It's like you don't have a monopoly over the blank lives matter. You don't have a monopoly on that. And so as a result of you not having a monopoly on that, you can't claim that it's all about skin color. I can't... What? What idiot thought that was a good idea to put that in the video? That is the stupidest thing. You don't get to define those kind of terms. If I want to say red lives matter in favor of firefighters, or, gosh, I don't know, brown lives matter, or, infant lives matter, embryo lives matter, or gosh, Aleppo lives matter. It's like these are the kind of people who would start a hashtag Aleppo lives matter, just completely, just whatever. And they would think nothing of it, and that kind of, it's like you basically have said that arbitrarily have decided that this only relates to skin color, which there's absolutely zero, there's no basis or evidence for that. You could argue precedent, but it's a meme. Are you really going to put that tight of a constraint on a meme? Yeah, that doesn't work. Sorry.
Stop bragging about being woke. Stop saying woke.
Is there anybody who uses the term woke unironically? Are you really one of those people who, this is your video, this is things that people need to do in 2017 to make it great, and one of the things is stop saying woke. Why? It's funny. And 99% of the time that I've heard it used, it's used ironically, like "Stay woke, my friends," or like a picture of that makes fun of flat earthers, and somebody will hashtag "Stay woke," like, and the OK symbol with the hands. It's a joke. It's a joke. I literally have almost, I think in one context it was a flat earther who I saw use the term "stay woke" unironically, or maybe he used it ironically, like as a joke, like, okay guys, stay woke, right? But I've never. It's a joke. Cool yourselves, idiots.
Learn what mansplaining is, and then stop doing it.
Oh my gosh! Oh, triggered. What? Are we really doing this? Are we really doing this? Okay, just for kicks and giggles, let's look up mansplaining on Google and see what the first. It's probably going to be everyday feminism. If my computer will, like, mansplain. Who came up with this? Okay, here we go. Mansplain. Of a man, explain something, typically a woman, in a manner regarded as condescending or patronizing. So, flip. I'm against sexism. You are not. Okay, you cannot claim to be against sexism if you have used the term mansplain and did not look back and go, oh, that was a mistake. If you look back at mansplain, you used it unironically in a conversation. You legitimately said, stop mansplaining me. You are a sexist. You are the very thing that you hate. Because mansplaining is something that only a man can do, and it is something that occurs when a man is talking to a woman about anything that is regarded as condescending or patronizing. So in other words, we could be having a civil conversation, and if I say something that you don't like, you could say I'm mansplaining, an attempt to shut the conversation down, because who wants a conversation? Who wants an argument, a rational conversation? Flippin' mansplaining. How is that even a word? How about this? Stop saying mansplaining, and 2017 will be just a little bit better. I just freaking I can't. I mean, ugh. Why is that still a thing? It's so blatantly sexist. It's not even funny. It's almost misandristic. I just can't. Why is womansplaining not a thing? Why is that not a flippin' what? Ugh. I'm for equality and an equal society, and I'm against sexism, but I use the term mansplain unironically. Holy flip. You're a special kind of stupid.
Oh, and if you're a judge, don't prioritize the well-being of an Ivy League athlete over the woman he assaulted.
I know the video's already long enough, but I just want to slide in here real quick. Just want to slide in here and say, our justice system is all kinds of jacked up. Okay? It's messed up. I mean, you have that, what was it? Is it Brock Turner? Was that the dude that viciously sexually assaulted a woman and got, 6 months in jail or prison or whatever? I mean, yeah, he's a sex offender and everyone and their mother now knows who the guy is. But 6 months of prison? That's it? Really? I mean, golly. Now, just to illustrate to you, there was recently a cop who got falsely convicted of rape. 21 years after his imprisonment, the victim came forward and was like, yeah, I kind of made the whole story up. The dude was in prison for 21 years because somebody made up a story that he raped her. Our justice system is all kinds of junked up. So I am not going to deny that our justice system needs some serious work. And so maybe if you're talking about institutionalized racism, I don't know, now that I think about it, that does seem like a problem, because if I'm not mistaken, black offenders are more likely to get, but for black people who don't commit crimes, the odds of that being a problem are slim to none, right? Well, black people get treated disproportionately by police officers. Okay, show me some studies. I'd actually be kind of interested. But the number of people that are white that were killed by cops this year, last time I checked, were double the number of black people killed by cops this year. So, just want to throw that in the mix. But yeah, our justice system is junked up. And anybody who is going to try and defend our justice system, we need some serious work up in this piece. We need some serious work.
We all love Beyonce, and yeah, she's black, so of course she cares about black issues. I'm talking to you, Fox News.
Feel free to take Kanye West, though. You guys can have him.
You know what you did, Kanye.
Nobody who has black friends says that they have black friends.
And just because you have black friends doesn't mean you're not racist. You can be racist with black friends.
Dear God. Nobody who has black friends says they have black friends. No, that's exactly why they say they have black friends, because they are anticipating an accusation of racism, or they have been accused of racism, and so they have to scrounge up some last-minute defense that, no, I'm not racist. Here, I'll prove it. I have black friends. It's like freaking... Ugh, the impetus is on you to prove that somebody is racist. And just because somebody says something that might be a little uncomfortable, or even because somebody says a joke that is racist, doesn't make them a racist. Because I remember back in the day, back in middle school, when I first learned about racism, and it was the belief, I was told, that it was the belief that you thought that one race was inferior or superior to another. Just because you make a racist joke, like, hey, I painted my computer black because I thought it would run faster, but actually now it just doesn't work, doesn't make you a racist. It's funny because of the stereotypes about black people. And we can whine and complain and talk about the stereotypes about black people, but that doesn't mean that I think black people are inferior. Of course, nowadays racism has just been to, oh, you recognize the differences between races and you perpetuate stereotypes. No matter how accurate they may or may not be, doesn't matter, it's a stereotype and you perpetuate and it's bad. Unless we're talking about white people, because reverse racism doesn't exist, because reasons and mental gymnastics that I can't even begin to, I don't follow you. I don't understand. I mean, when I just, want to go back to a simpler time when racism was something that everybody could do, and it was also something that was, very concrete. Nowadays, racism is you tweeted a joke that hurt somebody who had a different skin color than you's feelings. Now, if I tweet a joke that makes fun of men, it's funny. If I tweet a joke that makes fun of women, it's sexist. If I tweet a joke that makes fun of white people, that's funny. If I tweet a joke that makes fun of black people, I'm a racist, because speaking jokes to power or some such nonsense. Flippin' Marxism will destroy us all. I mean, this is why people say it. This is why people say, I have black friends. Because they're tired of being, some people just don't even care. This is why the alt-right is around. They don't even care anymore. They're like, yeah, fine, maybe I am racist. You bunch of insert expletives here. Because people are tired of being called racist. So stop with the whole, black friends, the colorblind. Yes, because I'm sure Martin Luther King, wow, I can English. I'm sure Martin Luther King envisioned a world where everybody went around going, I am white, you are black. I will treat you based on the, you understand that's what it is, right? Check your privilege, check your race. You're asking me to not only notice the fact that I am white and that you are black and that we are by definition different, but you are asking me to engage in a way with a black person different than I would with a white person. That's kind of racist, isn't it? It's definitely not non-prejudicial. So this whole equality, equal, non-prejudicial world you're searching for, it starts with the death of identity politics, which is not what you want. You don't want the death of identity politics, because then you can't play the beautiful, politically correct game that Jordan Peterson so aptly describes. So keep playing your game, but don't get upset when the results are not what you want, but what the game is designed to produce.
Look, guys, we know nobody's perfect.
But honestly, you could do a little better in 2017.
Some of you guys do a great job. Some of you don't.
The condescension is so palpable. I mean, if I were in that room, I think I could I could, like, rub my fingers on the ceiling and condensation would come off. This supposedly invisible thing is so thick in that room, I could probably scrape it off the ceilings. Fresh liquid condensation right here for you.
Please, because 2016 is bad. 2017 can't be worse than this, all right? Because this is bad.
Can you not believe how bad the current year is? Hashtag John Oliver. Hashtag flippin', I don't know, some insult. 2016 is bad. It can't get worse than this. Well, if it can't get any worse, why are you making a video about how to make 2017 better? If your statement is correct, 2017 is going to be better by default, in some way. Was 2016 really that bad? Yeah, some really crappy stuff happened. But some pretty good stuff happened, at least I think on an individual level. I think a lot more people are getting woke, right? I think good stuff is happening. I think some good stuff is going to come out of this year. That's because you support Trump. No, it's not just that. I mean, I want to believe. I want to be optimistic. The only reason why the leftist liberal potheads are so upset about 2016 is because they ultimately lost. They're losing influence in the universities. They're losing influence online. They're losing influence they're losing the culture wars. They lost the political war. Hillary Clinton getting sunk bigger than the Titanic. The DNC, the WikiLeaks, the Project Veritas, all of that stuff. I mean, was there any field in which they won? Now, that again, it's not to say that life is all sunshine and lollipops, because I don't think life is all sunshine and lollipops. We still have a lot of work. Still got a lot of ways to go. Conservatives need to up their game and become more appealing. Republicans need to quit being seen as the old person's party. And of course, it doesn't hurt to quit hammering it at the Democrats and don't let the alt-right become more popular than it already is, which means ignore them. Don't let the communists and the socialists become more popular, which means debunk their ideas rationally, thoroughly, and all that jazz. And try and make your life just a little bit better. And if everybody would try and make their life better and try to improve themselves, then everything will be much better. That's my pathway to a better 2017. Stay woke, my friends. And now, for some giggles.
It could be in this very room. It could be you. It could be me. It could even be John Cena!